Hello, everybody. My name is Megan Graham, and I wanted to come on today to talk a little bit about my honest experience with the Lifewave X2O Water Machine. If you've watched my channel before, you will know that I use the Lifewave patches and I am a brand partner. What you may or may not know is that I am brutally honest. So I will always come on here. I do work with Lifewave, but that said, I like most of their products. I actually love most of them, but I'll also give you my honest opinion if something is not my absolute favorite. And if you are on here, please feel free to jump into the chat. Please feel free to say hello. Tell me where you're from. If you have tried the X2O machine. And if you don't know, the main product, the hallmark product for Lifewave, that would be the X39 patches. So you're probably familiar with these. And just want to preface this with this is not medical advice. This is my personal opinion. I do not work for the company. I am literally just a brand partner as well as a consumer. So I got the original. And if you don't know, I'm just going to tell you a teeny tiny bit about the water machine. So the Lifewave X2O Water Machine, you can watch other videos on the science of this. David Schmidt just did a great presentation about this. I was just listening to it this week. So David Schmidt is really the creator of Lifewave, is the guy to listen to for the science. Basically, the X2O Lifewave Water Machine releases light directly into the body. So it's a little bit different. The patches work by stimulating the skin. So they are different, but very complementary. And it's very interesting to hear. So it's light and hydrogen infused water. And many people have heard of hydrogen infused water, but many of us have not heard of light infused water. Okay, so let's get into my thoughts on the Lifewave water machine. I feel like a lot of times, and you can actually, let me see if I can lean, you can see my water machine. It's right behind me. This is kind of like our great room area in our apartment. We just moved into a new apartment. And hello, and thank you so much for saying hi from Illinois. It's nice to hear from you. And also from Florida. Thank you so much for saying hello. So if you don't know, I'm a brand partner. I have a lot of different customers all over the country and all over the world. And I have been updating everybody because the real reason I've been updating everybody is that I was lucky enough to get the initial version 1 of the Lifewave water machine. And I will be really honest with you, I was not crazy about it. And here is why. So I was very excited. I got my original Lifewave water machine delivered. I know that it's a huge honor to get one of those early machines. And I was so excited about it. And I could not get past the taste of the water. My husband and I actually put distilled water into the machine, distilled remineralized water. So there was no taste, no taste at all to the water going into the machine. But when the water came out of the machine, I don't know how to say it. It literally tasted worse coming out than going in. There's no way that I can say it differently. So much so that we received the machine. Now this is version 1, so I'm only talking about version 1, and I'm going to move into version 2 as well. But that was how we felt about the first version. It just didn't taste good. And for me, I could literally smell almost like a plasticky smell. I don't think, this is just me guessing, and I'm not trying to say anything bad about Lifewave. I would hazard a guess, and this is just a guess, that possibly, and by the way, I'm going to move my light. This is my first time really filming in this brand new apartment, and I'm kind of figuring out what works. So you know what? I'm putting a light behind me, and we'll see if that's a little bit better. So anyway, I don't know how to describe it. It literally have you ever had water from a garden hose? And I'm sorry, I'm not trying to put the machine down, but the first machine had that kind of smell of it just didn't feel as fresh as I wanted it to be. And so for me, because I recommend the product, because I work with Lifewave so much, I knew that with the first water machine, that version 1 was not going to be something that I would recommend. I have signed thousands and thousands of people up for LifeWave. I help them personally. By the way, if you're looking to sign up for LifeWave and you want no pressure but lots of help, my link is in my bio. My email is in my bio, and I would love for you to email me so I can help you get started. That said, I can only talk about and I can only share a product that I think is great. I did not think the first version was great. And the issue was that I'm sure that you could get benefits from it, but because I literally couldn't stand the taste of the water, there's no way I was drinking the water. And so we got the machine. We drank the water for about 2 weeks. We were in the middle of moving several times, and it just wasn't something that we were going to continue with. And on top of it, although it is not recommended for pets, and I am not telling you that you should give the water to your pets, my plan was to give it to my little 4-pound dog who has autoimmune disease, basically. And I didn't really want to give it to Lola either because I simply didn't like the taste and I didn't like the smell. So it just sat there. That is the honest truth. It sat there. I know it has great properties. I have heard from David about all the things that he has created this machine for. So I know it's a great thing, but I wasn't going to drink it. So you can imagine that when I heard that they were coming out with version 2, I was super excited to hear that there was a new and improved water machine. And it was a little bit of a rocky start because we had moved and LifeWave shipped our brand new machine to our old address that we hadn't lived at for 6 months. So if you ever get a replacement unit, you might just want to check and make sure that they're sending it to the right address because it is a big, big, heavy unit. Anyway, I called LifeWave. Sorry, speaking of water. I called LifeWave. I asked them if my water machine was coming, and they said, oh, it's been delivered to your apartment. And it was my old apartment. They were kind enough to send a brand new water machine. And I am so excited to tell you that version 2 of the water machine is fantastic. The smell is it's just fresh. It's perfectly filtered water. The taste is great. There is no smell, as water should have no smell, right? Good water doesn't have any smell. By the way, guys, please don't forget, let me know where you are from. Tell me if you're a brand partner, a customer, a prospective brand partner or customer. And please, I would really, really, really appreciate it if you would hit the thumbs up as well. It makes such a big difference for my channel, and I really, really appreciate all of your support. It makes all the difference for me. So the version 2, it arrived just as we got into this apartment. And it also arrived at a time where I felt like we really needed it. Our little dog was super, super sick still with autoimmune disease. And I was actually seeing if I could postpone her very, very strong conventional treatments and do holistic treatments with our holistic vet. So we got the water machine, we fired it up, and I can definitely say that everything about the second version of the water machine is much improved, and we are using it. Guys, please hit the thumbs up. I know nobody's really doing it, and I know you're listening, so please look for it and hit the thumbs up. It's free, and it just makes such a big difference, and it tells me that you want me to keep doing these live streams too. If I don't know that you guys like them, then I just don't know if it's that important for me to do them. So please let me know that I'm doing the right thing and that you enjoy me sharing my honest experience. So this second version is very, very different. First of all, we're using it every day because the water tastes great. We make it first thing in the morning. The actual machine, the thing I love about LifeWave is, first of all, they spent a lot of money they sent a return tag. They took back every machine that they initially sent out, and they completely reworked this project, and they made it, in my eyes, now it's the way that it should be with LifeWave. And now it is something that I can recommend to my friends, to my customers, and to my clients, and that I use myself, because I will definitely tell anybody that works with me whether I would actually use something or not. For instance, I think their skincare is great. It doesn't agree with me because it has fragrance in it. So I always tell my clients that I use other skincare, but I use all the patches. Just, a way to be honest, right? So the second version is completely different. And Some of the things, this is just what I've noticed personally. So, one thing you'll find is I'm never going to get into conditions. I'm never going to tell you that what happens for me happens for you. But what I have noticed since using the machine, and I've been using it now for 2 weeks, I have noticed. So, I won't go into all the things that I've dealt with health wise for the past few years, but I basically have quite a few different health issues, challenges, if you will, things I'm moving through. And I've been using the machine for 2 weeks, and I have noticed that I'm having more days where I feel like myself. So I usually rate how I feel. And for a while, a few months back, we were having some problems in our apartment. And I would say, like, 9 out of 10, I was feeling horrible. It started to improve. Simply moving into a new apartment made a big difference as well, because there was a water leak in our apartment, and that is an instant, it impacts me. Water damage and water contaminants always impact me when they're in my space. But we got in here, fresh apartment, cleaned everything, and I have been noticing that certain things that, let's just say, were not functioning properly for me personally in my body. It's not like a straight 180, like everything is gone and I am just, that would be, to me, that would be impossible. But I've noticed massive improvement in many of the things that I would consider to be health challenges. I've noticed that my energy is so much better. I think my mood is the biggest thing that I've noticed. And I feel my optimism and my positivity really coming back. Like, I'm feeling more like myself. And there are just certain digestive things that I was having really just go wrong. And I have noticed a huge improvement in those things. So that's me personally. But who knows? With the first version, I may have noticed those things as well, but simply because of the taste. And I'm not sure, but I feel like maybe the wrong type of materials were used in the first version. I don't know what it is. I mean, LifeWave, obviously, I don't have communication with the actual company, so I don't know if they use different materials. Dave asked me if I have made coffee with it. I have not made coffee with it, Dave. So we fill our coffee maker the night before. And from what I understand, so we fill it with water, we have coffee ready to go. And in the morning, we just press start and we start to brew our coffee. So from what I understand with the light infused water, I believe you're supposed to drink the water right after you make it. So no, we haven't made coffee with it. I'm honestly not sure if anybody wants to add in their thoughts about this. I am not sure what would happen if you used it for coffee. It just seems like a lot of temperature changes and going through another machine. I don't think I would make coffee with the water personally, but I am drinking it myself. My husband is also drinking it, and our pets are having it. It's really interesting. My husband does not tend to notice changes as much as I do. But it's very, very interesting. So he's been using the patches now for, I believe it's been about a year and a half that Jeff has been using the patches. And now he is also drinking the water. And I'm sure Jeff wouldn't really like this, but one of Jeff's biggest problems was that he used to wake up in the middle of the night to go to the bathroom like 3 to 4 times. And it would wake me up too, because when your husband is like a 220 pound, 6'2" man that gets out of the bed, the whole bed moves and I would wake up. So it was kind of like interrupting my sleep. And it was really interesting because I noticed that he doesn't get up anymore, and he didn't do anything specifically for that issue. And I asked him about it, and he was like, yeah, no, I don't really do it anymore, which I thought was really interesting because from what I know, that's not really something that usually stops happening. And I don't know, I'm sure there's a name for it. I won't use the name because we're not supposed to use the names, but that's kind of an interesting difference with Jeff. Does anybody have any questions for anyone that's on here? This is always a very friendly place. So if you feel like jumping in, just know that everybody's always really nice in the comments. So no one is going to jump down your throat or anything like that. So basically, I'm very, very happy with version 2 of the machine. And I don't know, but I am in network marketing. I do for a living, if you don't know. I share products that have made a huge difference in my life because I always think that our bodies know how to be healthy, but the world is set up for convenience these days. It's not set up for health, energy, good sleep, and wellness. So, what I've found is that I do different things. Like, for instance, I use special light bulbs that are not LED in my house because LEDs flicker and they can actually cause health issues. Um, Dave asked, do I only drink 16 ounces a day or can you drink more? That's a good question, Dave. Sometimes I drink 2 glasses of it. I don't, I'll be totally honest, I'm not LifeWave, so I really don't know the real directions of it. I don't think it would hurt you to drink more. I will say that I have found the water to be energizing, which is interesting, right? It's just water. But I personally don't drink it later on in the day unless I really feel like I need energy because I tend to, for instance, like the X39 patches, I always put these on first thing in the morning. And I don't put them on, and I don't really recommend putting them on before you go to sleep because the patch tends to be energizing. So we don't really want to wear it. It's really like a daytime patch as opposed to we don't really want more energy at night when we're trying to go to sleep. I don't think it would hurt you to drink more than 16 ounces. I do give the water to my 4-pound dog Lola, and I give it to her. I put it into an espresso cup, and then I take a little oral syringe and I give her about 6 oral syringes of the LifeWave water. And I also fill the pet bowl with it. And again, LifeWave is not selling or telling you that you should use these products for pets. I'm simply sharing what I do. I have a holistic vet and I do a lot of things for my pets that are special, such as my dog that has an overactive immune system is getting, she's getting IV ozone treatments. She's getting ozone supplements. She's eating raw rabbit meat. She's getting bison bone marrow bones, emu oil, salmon roe, all sorts of things to bring her inflammation down naturally. She was getting, and she's still getting a steroid as well because her inflammation was so off the rails. She was getting chemotherapy to suppress her immune system. She does not have cancer. People got really confused and everybody was sending me cancer treatments. She doesn't have cancer. But I gave her the 6 treatments. Here's one of my dogs now. I gave her the 6 treatments, and it's supposed to just be a series of 6. And I just didn't want to give her a 7th because I felt like she had done her time with chemotherapy. And so we're doing alternative things. I'm not telling you not to do your conventional treatments, just so you understand. I think a lot of people, I'll get comments sometimes. I got an email from someone last week that was like, how dare you recommend these products? People are stopping all their medical treatments. I would never tell you to do that. I would never tell you that any of this stuff is the one thing that you should do. And if you listen to me, or you listen to David Schmidt, or a lot of the people that really talk about this, it's one tool in your toolbox. And there are so many other things that all of us need to do. Sometimes I wish it was just one thing, but for instance, the biggest thing that I just changed is I really got serious. I've been focusing on doing more good things and fewer bad things. And I realized that one of the things that I was doing is I was still eating a lot of inflammatory foods. And so I have been eating very low inflammation foods for the last month. And it's difficult because some of the most delicious foods are also the most inflammatory. But I can say that I feel a massive difference. It's not easy to do, but it's worth it when it makes you feel better. And Dave said, are the machines available now? I know for a while they were very hard to get. They are still very hard to get, Dave. So they're producing them, but there is a wait list. If anybody's interested in being on my wait list, you're welcome to email me. My email is in there. They are gradually kind of rolling out their other they're machines, but it takes them a little while. Suzanne says, sorry, but I feel you wasted 3/4 of your time on a machine that does not exist anymore. I would just like to hear your current findings. That's not really a positive comment, is it? Waste, I mean, I guess like if you're a negative person, and it's honestly sounds like you are, because you would make a comment like that. I don't look at anything as wasted time in life. Even if something happens and I'm not happy with it and I have to change things, I think everything in life happens for a reason, and we all choose to have our own attitude about what happens. I don't look at it as wasted time. Like, I wouldn't say that LifeWave wasted my time because the first machine wasn't as good as the second machine. I think good things take time, and people that care about things actually take the time to make things work really well. And so I don't know, it's like I will never fault anybody for taking the time to make something better. So, while I'm not mad, like, oh, the first machine didn't taste as good as I wanted it to, or what have you, it wasn't perfect. That's kind of how life is. If you don't know my story, I went to college and I was a studio art major. I had a lot of different majors, but I was a studio art major. And I feel like when you're painting, it's not usually like your first, the first time you start using the oil paints, everything is perfect. It's a layering process. And all things that we do with creation are a layering process. And I think it's only a waste of time. I mean, I guess it's just a really negative thing, like way of looking at things that thank goodness I would never look at things like that. I don't look at things as a waste of time. I look at them as learning experiences. I look at them as a chance to grow. And if the second machine wasn't improved, then sure, I'd be like, well, this isn't something that I'm ever going to share. But when you see a company that goes back in and goes back to the drawing board, and they think about what is working and what's not working, and they actually take the time to do that and to fix things and to make it outstanding, I don't even look at that as a waste of time for a second. I just look at it as every single thing. I mean, I don't know, has anybody that's on this chat ever not made a mistake? Like, do you have a life where everything you do is perfect and you just like, I mean, God bless you if you do. Like, that's not possible though. If everything is perfect and you never make a mistake, then you are not getting out there and you're not trying that hard. And that's the honest truth. So anyway, I don't look at it for a second as a waste of time that the first one for me I wasn't really able to use. I was very honest. Like, I have thousands of different clients, and they have access to me through my cell phone number, through my email, my private Facebook that's just for my team. And I let people know that the first version was not up to par, and that I would wait, and I would tell people when it was not just good enough, but when it was exactly what it should be. And I don't know, I mean, if you listen to Tony Robbins, you know that most successful people are going to try like 9 or 10 different things to get something super successful. And even for instance, so David assigns different numbers to patches. Every single patch that he works on doesn't necessarily come to market. Only the ones that he tests that make the cut are actually going to be sold. So that's why this is X39. I guarantee you there were lots of different, there was probably a 38. There was probably a 32, and you don't see those patches. So you're only going to see the best. And if he decides that there's something better, I mean, I can't speak for David. I really do want to talk to David though. So if anybody knows David, I really want to talk to him because I have an idea about something, and I'm trying to get in touch with him. But anyway, I believe that David only brings out the best stuff. And if there's something that isn't working, he's going to retire it. And if there's something that needs to be even better, or if he gets feedback, he's going to do that and make it better. So anyway, I mean, people can have their feelings, and if people want to be negative and say things are a waste of time or terrible, to me, I would only ever say that something was a waste if I bought something and it never worked properly, and somebody didn't try to make it right. In my life, like if you look at the Four Seasons, if you stay at a Four Seasons and you have an issue, you're going to see that if you have an issue, by the way, guys, can you please hit that thumbs up button? Because I see a lot of you guys are on here and I would really, really, really appreciate it if you would just take a second to hit the thumbs up button. If you are listening and you want to let me know that you're like listening enough that you actually hear that, it would make a huge difference to me, just to see that. Thank you so much. I really, really appreciate that. That's awesome. So anyway, my review is just simply that I didn't care for the first water machine at all. And I'm not being negative. It was not, I didn't like it. Honestly, I didn't get to use it enough to say whether it had results or not. The second version is much, much improved. I am noticing improvements in a lot of different things. I'm noticing positive improvements in my digestion. I'm noticing positive improvements in my energy, my mood, a lot of different things. A lot of just personal stuff that I had going on, I am noticing improvements on. So I think that's a good sign. I'm excited. I know that the water machine is not going to be for everyone. Not everybody is going to want this water machine. Like for me, the great thing about the patches is that they're very accessible. They're very easy. You can purchase them monthly. They're fairly affordable. They're not free, right? We all know that they're still, it's a purchase price, right? But they're fairly affordable. The water machine is obviously going to be more expensive, but it is amazing. And water is just one of the most important things for us. So if you're looking to watch an actual video on what the machine does, David just did a presentation. You can go to Lifewave Health and you can check it out there. If you are looking to work with a brand partner on the patches, you're not using the patches now, you can find my email. And my favorite thing to do is when people actually contact me and I can touch base with them and talk about which patches they might want to wear and which patches they might not need right now. I do think that if you want, so somebody asked me the other week, they were like, why is it beneficial to sign up with someone like you instead of just signing up with Lifewave? Because you actually have someone to help you. When you sign up with me, I help you for free. You're buying the product anyway. So if you buy it through Lifewave, if you go on and you do the guest checkout, you don't have someone that you can text. You can't text Lifewave. You can call and you can wait on their toll-free number, and they're great. They're really great, but they can't, or I don't think they can really give you the same personalized help because most of the people, they're great, but they're answering the phone and they're customer service people. And I am a 2-year user of the patches that has helped thousands of people to start the patches, and that makes a really big difference. So anyway, if you're looking to use the patches, please feel free to either sign up through my link or even better, contact me personally so that I can help you. I will say that I am in network marketing, but I'm not really your typical network marketing person because if anything, you're probably going to buy less when you buy through me instead of more, because I'm going to tell you exactly what you need and what you don't need, because it's really easy to go on the website and think that you need every single product. And I'm going to be honest, you don't. They're good. You could eventually buy them and have them in a little drawer and use them sometimes, but you don't need to be wearing 12 patches every day. It's totally not necessary. We want to streamline it. We all have a finite amount of money. Does anybody else want to ask any questions? I'm just going to leave it open just in case anybody wants to ask anything. Just jump into the comments. I'm not going to give you the science of the water machine. I'm not a scientist. I'm a retired hairstylist and fitness athlete, etc. But if you want to ask me anything, and if you don't want to ask me about the water machine and you want to add anything about the patches, or if you've used the water machine, you'd like to give me your thoughts, I'd love to hear from you. I'll just talk for about 2 minutes at the very end, but we just had a move. We moved into a new apartment here. We're in the same building where we lived before. We had a water leak in our apartment, and our building was actually probably just the most amazing building in that they actually wanted to fix the water leak. and smash apart the shower that had leaked. And so they had to move us so they could do that. But they had such beautiful customer service, and they actually had a really wonderful gentleman that called me. He made our move super, super comfortable, which in life, I don't know if you've experienced this with customer service, but I feel like I'm used to people saying that they have great customer service, and then when you actually ask for help, it's just terrible and it's an awful experience. And it was completely the opposite with my apartment building, and I was just so happy about that. And that's kind of an example of something going wrong, but the way that people handle it, you can either have a terrible, experience with it, or you can think, wow, that was such a human experience where people actually cared and they did the right thing. So we moved into our new place. We've been getting the pets settled in. My dog Lola, who is pretty sick, she has an autoimmune illness that was basically melting her brain, which is awful. We've been doing some special things for her. I am giving her a break from her chemo. Not saying anybody should do that, but that's what I'm doing, just because she did her full 6 rounds of chemo. She is wearing the X39 patch daily. I give her 2 or 3 days off, actually. She's also wearing carnosine and Eon, so my little dog is wearing a lot of patches. She's getting ozone treatments once a week. If you don't know what ozone is, ozone it basically tends to kill everything in your body that shouldn't be there, and it oxygenates your body, it lowers inflammation. So we are trying that to see how it goes. She's also getting some raw food at this point. She's getting bison bone marrow bones. She's probably getting more expensive food than Jeff and I eat, but I just love my little dog so much. So far, fingers crossed, she's doing really well. She was having trouble sleeping in a bed because she has a lot of just neurological problems, and she just didn't want to sleep in the bed. And she's been my best friend since I got her. So she's 13 years old. She is the senior now. And one night I decided to throw a comforter down on the floor and see if she liked that better. And she did. She went to sleep. It was interesting to see. She instantly relaxed. She stopped fidgeting and she went to sleep. And so when that happened, I decided to get a really nice Japanese futon mattress. Well, first I got a cheap one just to make sure that she liked it. But we have been sleeping, we've been floor sleeping, which is really interesting. I never thought I would do that, but I'll do just about anything for my elderly dog. And she has been sleeping through the night now, and she can also get off the mattress and she can go to the bathroom. She can walk around. She can get water if she needs. She can't always walk at night. So on occasion, I wake up and she's just like whimpering a little bit, and I carry her in and give her some water and hang out in the living room until she's ready to go back to bed. So she still seems to have a really good quality of life. She's gobbling up food. Last night, Jeff and I were making bison burgers, and she was barking at us the entire dinner. And yes, it can be annoying, but I always say to my husband, aren't we lucky that she's still alive and energetic enough to annoy us? So she's doing pretty well. Everybody did fairly well with the move, and the new apartment has been great. I'm still trying to figure out where I'm going to film in this apartment. Everything is just new to me, so I'm getting things set up. So definitely open to any feedback, but curious what you guys think. Does anybody else have any questions or want to add anything? And also, if anybody wants any of the links to the different places where I'm getting things for Lola, some of the things that are really helping, I would definitely say the bison bone marrow. She's eating raw rabbit meat, which really grossed me out, I'll be honest, but you should see the joy in this dog when she's eating it. She looks like a little hunter, and she's so happy. So I will do and try just about anything to help my dog. The organ supplements are also super, super interesting. I have actually been taking them myself as well, and they make a huge difference. So just trying some different things. It sounds like not anybody really has any questions, so I probably won't stay on any longer if you guys don't. I don't know what Greska's C60 means, but definitely let me know. Hi, Daryl. It's nice to hear from you. Definitely let me know what Greska's C60 means. I'm going to keep you updated as well on the water machine. But honestly, everything, I mean, I am very good friends with someone else I'm actually quite a few people that are on my LifeWave team. And if you don't know why you have a team, it's almost like you're part of a branch of LifeWave. And I'm part of an especially helpful branch. There's a lot of acupuncturists, there's medical professionals, there's really interesting people. And I'm good friends with a gal named Melanie. And Melanie was like very interested to hear how the water machine was. And I said, I'll always tell you exactly how it is, because I actually, based on the first version, I was like, wait to buy it until I get the second version and I know it's great. Once I got the second version, I was all in. And again, just let me know what it is, Daryl. I'm curious. I don't know, but I'll definitely look at it. We might be trying a therapy on her called mistletoe therapy. I don't know if anybody's familiar with that, but she has the best vet ever. Her vet is so good, and I gave her the whole story of everything that's happened for Lola. She's still hanging in there. We take her for a walk in her baby carriage every day, and I just do everything that I can for her. Obviously, quality of life is the most important, and I have had to go through this with senior dogs before. I don't know if anybody on here has a dog, but you just watch your dog. You always want their quality of life to be really good. You don't want to just keep your dog around just for you. I can still tell she's enjoying life, so she's still here. And you never know, we might just have a miracle. I'm not giving up on miracles. But anyway, so Lola's doing well. The other pets are also doing well, and I am just getting back to my schedule. And if anybody else has any other questions, just let me know, because I always like to hear from you guys. If you have joined LifeWave with me and you want to talk to me, just please also send me an email if you haven't heard from me. This was a super chaotic month because we were in our first apartment. They were going to move us to a second apartment, and I actually found water damage in that one too. I was in there and I was like, I have like an immune reaction to water damage contaminants, and I could just feel it when I was in that one. So I felt it. I walked around and I could actually see the water stain on the ceiling. They felt so bad. They were just mortified, and they fixed it. They ripped out the drywall, etc. But it just goes to show it can be anywhere. You don't have to be in the rainiest state to have water damage. It's simply an indoor plumbing issue most of the time. So Daryl, thank you for that. Thank you for that suggestion. I don't know if I have my phone. I'll take a picture of that and run it past. I always ask Lola's vet about things as well. So let me just take a picture of that. Universal space molecule. Interesting. You always know about very, very interesting things. That is so cool. Also, I've been using paper tape to reaffix the patches to Lola. Sometimes people ask me how I use them on my dog. Sometimes I would stick them to a collar or a harness. Lately, I've just been sticking them directly on her hair. And if they start to fall off during the day, which they don't usually, I actually just reaffix them with paper tape. The same thing can work for people as well. Like say you go into a hot tub or you go swimming and your patch isn't really staying on, you can try that same thing. So anyway, it was great to talk to you guys today. I'm very, very happy to be in this new apartment space and away from the water damage in my last apartment. It's a big deal to move, even when you just move. We just moved down the hallway, honestly, but it's still a really big deal to move. So we're still getting the last of our stuff hung up. I'm still figuring everything out and fixing a few little things in this apartment that were broken. But as far as LifeWave is concerned, the water machine is going to be awesome. It's rolling out slowly. If you want to be on my wait list, please feel free to contact me. If you have any questions, just drop them on this video. I can't answer medical questions or questions about medical conditions. So I will say like the most popular questions that I get, people always do this, but they comment on my videos and they're like, what patch for diabetes or what patch for this skin condition? I'm never going to answer those. It doesn't exist. The patches are not a treatment or a cure. So just know these are a general wellness thing. And there is not a patch for a specific condition. So I can't ever answer those things. But overall, do they make a big difference? Yes, absolutely. Anyway, thank you so much for joining me. I hope this was helpful. I just like to be super honest. The second version of the water machine is amazing, and I didn't like the first one. I love the second one. So if you have any questions, you're looking to sign up, just feel free to email me if you're not already working with someone else. All right. Thank you, everybody. Have a great day. Bye.